Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. E5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e5 pawn, and prepares to castle. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center, protects the pawn on e5, and eyes the d4 square. The Italian game starts with bishop c4, which attacks the f7 pawn and prepares to castle quickly. Knight f6 develops the knight and attacks the undefended e4 pawn. d3 protects the e4 pawn and the c4 bishop and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. Solid. Continuing with standard opening theory. This is a book move, meaning it follows established opening theory, played by top players for years. Black develops the bishop and attacks the center. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. This activates a queen by developing it off of its starting square. This is the only good move. The pawn is now adequately defended. Castling to the same side of the board is a more cautious approach. A very strong play. This is a fair move. Very precise. A solid choice. One of the best moves. This moves the bishop to safety. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This threatens to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-on trades. That's fine. Developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. This protects an underdefended pawn that is under attack. This misses an opportunity to strike at the center with a pawn. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. A very strong play. There were worse moves, but also something much better. Black develops further. White's knight has moved to a square with greater activity and control. A solid choice. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. The game was close to balanced, but now white is worse. The game is still close to equal, but black lost their advantage. This moves the queen to safety. This is the strongest option. This creates luft for the king, providing it an escape square. One of the best moves. The game was close to equal, but now black has the advantage. This protects the attacked pawn. White was worse off, but now they are in a losing position. Black still has an advantage, but they no longer have a winning position. This move puts the queen on a safer square. This misses an opportunity to take an outpost with a knight. The game was close to balanced, but now black has a winning position. This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. This allows the opponent to eventually win a pawn. This missed an opportunity to punish a mistake. Now white can't stop black from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. Right on target. This wins a pawn. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. This misses an opportunity to eventually win a pawn. The pawn is now adequately defended. Taking that pawn wins material after the follow-up trades are made. This threatens to eventually win a pawn. This prevents the opponent from being able to eventually win a pawn. Very precise. This attacks a queen, winning a tempo when it moves away. This moves the queen to safety. This takes an outpost, a square where the knight cannot be kicked out by a pawn. This is a fair move. This stops the opponent from being able to eventually win a pawn. A very strong play. This is the way to win a pawn. Takes back. This is the only move that works. This wins a tempo by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. Recaptures. This threatens to win a queen through a fork. This misses an opportunity to move a rook to safety. Takes back. That pawn was free for the taking. This misses a better way to defend a pawn that was under attack. This move puts the knight on a safer square. This is the strongest option. This is not the right idea. The game is still close to even, but Black lost their winning advantage. This is the only good move. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. This is the only move that works. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This allows the opponent to win material by checking the king away from its defense. This wins material by checking the king away from providing defense. This evades the check from the queen. That was a free pawn. The bishop finds a new active square. This move puts the queen on a safer square. A solid choice. That's fine. This evades the check from the queen. Right on target. This steps away from the checking queen. Black's bishop has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This blocks the check from an opposing bishop. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This moves the queen to safety. One of the best moves. This evades the check from the queen. A very strong play. This blocks the attack on a pawn that could have been captured. A solid choice. This steps away from the checking queen. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This kicks a queen. This move puts the queen on a safer square. This steps away from the checking queen. This overlooks an opportunity to capture a knight that was threatening to win material. This moves the knight to safety. Black still has the better position, but they lost their winning advantage. Very precise. This overlooks an opportunity to win material through a tactic. White was worse off, but now they are in a losing position. This misses an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. This permits the opponent to pin a bishop to the king. This immobilizes the bishop by pinning it to the king. Black had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a knight. Takes back. That pawn was free for the taking. This is the strongest option. Right on target. This evades the check from the queen. Very precise. This threatens to win a queen through a skewer. This stops the opponent from being able to win a queen through a skewer. The bishop finds a new active square. One of the best moves. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. This is the strongest option. Right on target. This steps away from the checking queen. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. A very strong play. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. A solid choice. One of the best moves. Very precise. This steps away from the checking queen. This is the strongest option. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. A very strong play. Right on target. Very precise. This is the strongest option. This is the only move that works. This evades the check from the queen. Right on target. Very precise. This is the strongest option. Right on target. Very precise. A solid choice. This is the strongest option. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. One of the best moves. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recaptures. This immobilizes the knight by pinning it to the king. An active king is critical in the endgame, and getting it off of the back rank is the first step. A very strong play. Right on target. A solid choice. This threatens to win a queen through a fork. This prevents the opponent from being able to win a queen through a fork. One of the best moves. This wins a pawn. Very precise. That was a free pawn. This is the only good move. This is the only move that works. This steps away from the checking queen. This defends the attacked knight. This is the only good move. This evades the check from the queen. This is the strongest option. This is the only move that works. This steps away from the checking queen. This will lead to a draw by repetition, where the same position repeats 3 times. This is the only good move. This evades the check from the queen. This is the only move that works. The game ended in a draw by repetition.